Timmy is desperate. His thoughts are consumed by women. All his free time spent looking at girls on Instagram. Surely with all this time put into dating, Timmy would be having some success with women, right? Wrong. He's still lonely. No girls will see him for a date or reply to his messages. But one day, Timmy is out at a party. He sat in the corner, hunched back position, looking at the weather app, when he glances over and sees a man who's being surrounded by women. Oh, who's that guy? He's not even that good looking. Oh, why are all these girls into him? Who is this mysterious man, you may ask? Alexander. Alexander focuses on himself. And because of this, women focus on him. While Timmy is chasing women, Alexander is chasing his purpose. Alexander has the physique of a Greek god, the charisma of a king. So how can we be more like Alexander and less like Timmy? That's what we are going to cover in this video. So to start off this video, I want to tell you about the most common lie young men are sold all the time about dating. In movies, TV shows, media, your parents, literally everything. And that is that the more you chase a girl and the more you do to get her to like you back, the more she's going to be into you. Because you see the movie where the nerd is texting the girl, but she's ignoring him and she's dating the other guy, but then, oh, all of a sudden he buys her flowers and he shows up to her door and confesses her love, and then she falls in love with him. But bro, really quick, just think about it. How has this worked for you? Like, do you have a bunch of girls into you? Do you have a bunch of girls chasing you? Are your DMs flooded with messages? So clearly it's not working, right? And that is because women don't want to be with the man who cares the most about them. Women want to be with the man who they desire the most, right? To be honest, like, she doesn't really care how much you like her if she doesn't like you back. So that's why the worst thing you can do is try to beg a girl to be with you, blow up her phone, flood her with messages all day. If she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't like you, it's only going to repel her even more. So what should you do instead? Well, number one, realize that less is more. So many guys are constantly blowing up the girl's phone that they're into. They're in her face all day trying to tell her how much they like her and make their feelings super clear and confess their love for her. But what they don't realize is that all this time they're putting in to blowing up her phone and chasing her is actually only pushing her away even more. Think about it this way. Who's your favorite music artist or your favorite movie, your favorite TV show? If they put out a new song every single day, or if Star Wars made a new movie every single day, would you value it that much? No, you would just get bored. Like, you wouldn't enjoy seeing a new movie every single day. You wouldn't enjoy hearing a new song from your favorite artist every single day because it would just make the whole thing boring and stale. And the same exact concept applies to dating. If you're constantly blowing up the girl's phone, never giving her any time and space away from you, she's going to stop valuing your attention as much because you're giving her so much of it that she gets used to it and there's no more value in it. So something you have to realize is that scarcity creates value. But what I do want to make clear is you don't want to be weird about it. I'm not telling you like, oh yeah, purposefully ignore her messages or go 3 days without texting her and then text her back, or I remember this one time I was talking to my friend and I asked him for advice on a girl I was texting and he said, oh yeah, well, if she texted her 10 minutes ago, then you should wait 20 minutes to text her back because that's gonna make her like you back more. And it's like, no, you don't want to think way too deeply about this and overthink it. Here's what to do instead. So I have a girlfriend, right? On a day-to-day basis, I'm not texting her at all hours of the day. I'm not blowing up her phone. I'm not constantly seeing her all day, every single day, right? But also, I'm not purposefully like leaving her on red or playing games or being weird about it. So what I do instead, what I think is best is throughout the day, I'm just focused on myself. I'm going to the gym. I'm working on these videos. I'm doing all these things that take up my attention. And so it's not that I'm like purposefully ignoring her messages or not showing her attention. No, it's just that I have a life. So because of that, it naturally like creates a bit of scarcity. And also like me and my girl, we only hang out, I don't know, 3-4 times a week. And it's not because I'm trying to like do this weird like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna purposefully not see her for 3 days so I give her more time away from me. No, it's just because I'm a busy person, because I have stuff going on. And that's how I think it should be as a man. Yes, you should see your girl a fair amount. I'm not saying you shouldn't, because absolutely spending time with your partner is very important. But also at the end of the day, there is a fine line. If you're spending 7 days, 24/7, texting a girl, blowing up her phone, being around her, eventually she's gonna get tired of you and take you for granted. So it's all about finding that balance of where you're still seeing her a good amount, but also on a day-to-day basis, you're focused on your mission, your purpose, your goals. not chasing girls. The second thing you gotta do is you gotta focus on yourself. This is the single most important advice I have ever heard about dating. One day I was talking to my grandpa and I asked him, like, this was back when I was in early high school, and I said, you know, if you wanna be more attractive to women, what do you do? And he said, well, think about if you're trying to catch a butterfly, for example. You don't run around like a dumbass trying to throw your net, running around catching butterflies. No. If you want to catch a butterfly, what you do is you build a garden, and then you sit in the garden, and then a butterfly comes and lands on your shoulder. So dating is the same exact way. If you want to attract a girl, you don't message 30 different girls every single day. You don't go out and approach girls for 3 hours every single day. You still do some approaching, right? Of course, like, you have to be the one to go approach a girl and do it a bit. But at the end of the day, the focus is not on chasing the girls. The focus is on chasing your purpose, on building yourself, on building the garden. Because when you build yourself into the man that women would desire, that they would want to be with, that instantly makes you more attractive. Because you can approach all the girls you want. But if you're not the man that you need to be, it's going to be a lot harder for you than the guy who's focused on himself, who's built himself up. So what exact things can you do to build yourself? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to go to the gym and focus on improving your attractiveness, right? Getting in shape, building muscle, improving your style, improving your grooming, improving everything you can to level up your attraction, because that's the first stage of dating, right? A girl has to have some level of attraction for you for her to be into you. And some guys will say, oh yeah, I can't get girls because I'm not good looking. Oh, which first of all, okay, I know a lot of guys who aren't great looking, but still are successful with women. So it's not the only thing that's important. There are so many other things that matter, but also there's a lot about your attractiveness that you can control, right? A guy who has like a good looking face or whatever, but doesn't go to the gym, doesn't take care of himself, is always going to get beat out by a guy who's maybe not as naturally good looking, but has the 10 out of 10 physique, has everything else going for him. So the moral of that story is, yes, focus on improving your attractiveness because it will help you get more opportunities. But at the end of the day, don't use it as an excuse and focus on what you can. Also, having a purpose that motivates you. Something that every single woman wants in a man is they want a man who has a bigger life purpose, who's not just wasting all his life away playing video games, not being productive, just wasting time. They want a man who has a purpose that motivates him, right? Maybe you want to be a great father one day. Maybe you got a dream school you want to get into. Maybe you want to be the best at a certain sport. You have something you're working hard at that motivates you, because this doesn't just only improve your life, right, from a financial perspective, it also improves your life from a spiritual perspective. Because think about how you're going to carry yourself as a man when you're living a fulfilling life compared to when you're just wasting your life away bed rotting and playing video games. So it's not just about like women want to be with a man who's ambitious and who's going to be able to provide for them. It's also about the spiritual energy that you bring and how that shows in your day-to-day life. So if you're wasting all your time away, right, playing video games, not doing anything productive, focus on finding your purpose, on finding some work you can do that motivates you. And the truth is, for every young man, it's going to be different. I can give you this advice, but at the end of the day, you have to put in the work. You have to go out and try different things. You have to talk to people. You have to figure out, what am I passionate about and also good at? Because it's a blend of the both. You want to do something that you're good at, but you also want to do something that you're passionate about. Because when you can work on something that you enjoy doing that also can reward you, it's the greatest thing in the world. For me, that's always been playing football when I was younger. So playing sports, and then now it's making these videos. The third thing you gotta level up is your charisma. The truth is, you can be the best looking dude, right? You can level up your attractiveness and all this other stuff. But if you have the personality of a rock, it doesn't matter. So many guys say, oh yeah, looks is the only thing that matters. Okay, first of all, I know so many real life examples of guys who aren't the greatest looking, but they have great charisma and they do really well with women. I also know examples of guys who are good looking, but they still struggle because they piss their pants every time they see a girl they want to go talk to. So it's a balance of the both. You got to build yourself up, but also part of that is your charisma. And the only way you improve your charisma is by going out and talking to more girls. Next time you see that girl you want to go talk to, go approach her. Don't make excuses. Don't tell yourself, oh yeah, she wouldn't be into a guy like me. Oh, there's no way. No. Walk up to her and talk to her. Which kind of leads me into the last and final point, okay? Number 3, have a winner's mentality. When I think about this, the number one story that comes to mind is Tom Brady back in, I think it was Super Bowl 51, when they played the Atlanta Falcons. The Patriots were down 3-28 going into halftime, right? The game looked essentially over, and Tom Brady, right, looked defeated at halftime. But then what happened? Well, they came out in the second half, and they kicked their ass. They destroyed the Falcons. But why is this? Well, when they were down 28-3, was Tom Brady sitting there going, oh yeah, I guess we'll just give up and we'll quit because the game's over and, there's nothing I can do. No. He refocused. He focused on what he could control, played a great second half, and they came back and won. So how can you apply this to dating and self-improvement? Well, just because you're down right now, just because you're struggling, doesn't mean that's where you're always going to be. Now, if you tell yourself that you'll always struggle and that you'll always suck at these certain things, then yeah, it is where you'll always be. But the truth is, somewhere out there, there's a guy who has a very similar situation to you, but he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't cry about it. He doesn't write hateful comments. He just goes out and improves. He just focuses on improving himself. And the truth is, the guys who get it, they get it. They learn from it and they improve. But the guys who don't get it, they never learn. So at the end of the day, realize it's up to you. But a big part of that is all about the mentality, about the stories you're telling yourself. When you see a girl you want to go talk to, are you telling yourself, yeah, she wouldn't be into a guy like me, I have no chance? Or are you telling yourself, I can get her. Why can't I get her? I'm a valuable person. Because if you don't first fix that mindset and get that right, literally nothing else will matter. So always have a winner's mentality and not a loser's mentality. So if you found this video helped and you want to be surrounded by a group of young men with similar goals, similar aspirations who are focused on leveling up and becoming their best self, go join my private Discord community, The Ascenders. And that's a great place to be if you're focused on leveling up and wanting to improve yourself. But also leave a like and a subscribe so more young men can be pushed to become better and see videos like these. So I'll see you for the next video, bro.